Well, very good morning, everybody, for Monday, the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all those Americans. Yes, we don't celebrate it here. I think that still surprises people. Okay, so high pressure, Azores high, trying to move in from the southwest. With that, we have a front which has been causing a little bit of a headache, I know, for David and his forecasts over the last 24, 48 hours. At the moment, it looks like it's sort of weakening and it will be sort of over the Bristol Channel, just into Wales and up into the Midlands by around lunchtime today, but in front of it and behind it, looking reasonable. But probably a day just to keep that in mind, that is going to be the fly in the ointment. As we go through today and into tomorrow, high pressure continues to build in. Front's not too far away, but hopefully not providing too much of a factor other than just being at times a little bit cloudy. With that, we've introduced a reasonable westerly wind, not too strong, but 10 knots, but yeah, definite westerly influence at the moment. You can see that on the weather charts for wind, which is showing around 260 to 280, so almost straight west, 10 to 15 knots. And the satellite picture over the UK shows a bright start in our area. Some wave interference happening in Wales, not particularly surprising given the wind direction and the high pressure. So yeah, probably not a day to necessarily plan to go too far west, despite the fact that it may improve later in the day. But down to the southeast, up into East Anglia, looking reasonable with a bright start. And we already have some cumulus in our local area. Public forecast for today shows a bright start, staying pretty bright throughout the day, that westerly wind staying where it is, and yeah, fairly easy day really, not too much of a problem. Top temperature today of around 20 degrees, and we can see that on GFS, which is showing that we might get 21 or 22 degrees here, which will certainly be good for us. Looking at dew points this afternoon down to around 8, so good temperature dew point split. And the sounding for Lark Hill does show a lower inversion out to the west, and it being fairly strong. So that'll take quite some warming to get those little bit higher cloud bases that we're expecting. But nevertheless, as the front approaches, hopefully it might just warm out a little bit and destabilize and allow us to exploit that a little bit more. But I think just some cautiousness about going to the west too far. You might find it's a bit tricky in some patches before it improves again. And I'm not too sure if the forecasts for soaring have really picked that up. Currently at Lasham with a temperature of 15.5 and a dew point of 9. And the picture outside is quite good. We've got not just suckers cumulus, but actual cumulus. This is looking towards the north from David's house in Alton. And yeah, it's looking like it's getting going. So those of you that want an early launch, I have made arrangements for that to happen. Thanks to Andy for your help with that as well. So yeah, we can get you away when you wish. David's forecast is quite a long one. But I know he did have a bit of a change last night. So yeah, yeah, I think early starts, late finish. It's this time of the year, although we're into July now. The day is still going to go on probably till at least 7 o'clock, maybe even slightly more. But to our southeast and to our north, looking reasonable with good cumulus. But let's have a look at the data now. And first of all, Odium, talking about a few at 3,000 feet in the TAF, that light westerly winds. We've already got a few at 2,500 feet. Let's look at Farnborough. A few scattered at 4.5 during the day, which is good for around here. No cloud detected at the moment. Just look slightly further up to Birmingham. Still good there. Obviously, this side of the front, so it isn't proving to be too much of a problem. Top meteo. Let's get the right day first of all. For a standard class glider, looks like that. As you can see, patches of good area intermixed with slightly stronger wind and some wave interference. But yeah, some cautiousness about that area there that you can see just to the north of Bristol and west of Oxford as to actually how good that will be. We'll compare with Skysight shortly, but an early start, certainly by 10 o'clock, we're going to see cumulus shallow Q to around 3,500 feet. By lunchtime, seeing 4,000 to 4,500 feet, maybe 5,000 to 5,500 feet, 6,000 feet isolated in spots, maybe not around here, but to our north and southeast, perhaps. And it just keeps going. Looking further west, you can see how it does drop down a bit. It is slightly lower out towards Aston Down and Nymphsfield, 1,400 meters compared to 1,800 meters around here. Some evidence that there might be some sea air on the south coast as well. We'll have a look at convergences, but really nice up into East Anglia as well, 2,000 meters in certain places. This you're looking at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And even at 6:30, still going well around here, 1,600 meters to 4,500 feet, and even 7:30, looking good. But by 8 o'clock, it's time to come home. The bar is open. Cloud amounts. So yeah, good cumulus in our areas for most of the day. Sort of 3 or 4 8s, hopefully at times. Maybe gets a little bit less later in the day. A little bit more congested and a little bit lower out towards our west. So all in all, reasonable day in that respect. But let's have a look at the site forecast for Lasham. And let's get the right day again, seeing as it keeps trying to trick me on that. Topping here at in the TMA, actually the cloud base, so 5,500 feet above ground level. Reasonable climbs right from the word go, really. In fact, it says it'll be soarable pretty much at the end of this briefing. And cumulus throughout the day, really, 2 to 4 8s, really. And temperature reaching here quite balmy, 22 degrees with a dew point of 7. So yeah, Lasham's in one of the better areas. Sky sites, hit the size to load. Here we go. Potential flight distance. Again, that probably giving it a little bit more realism as to what's actually happening. Again, slight cautiousness about what's going on up here, but down to our southeast. Southwest, an option. There is some airspace down there we need to be careful of today. So we're going to have a chat about that in a moment. But southeast especially, and up towards the north and northeast, not looking too bad at all. And thermal strengths and how good they are. Starting fairly easy on round here, not too difficult to centre. There's no dots. Yeah, really the southeast showing up there as one of the better areas. Cumulus, as you can see on here, fairly widely spread, really. This showing it not getting quite so high in our area, much higher to the southeast. Just look at rain to check there's no chance of rain. Some showers potential in Wales, but nothing else in our area. And height of thermals. Yeah, quite widely, sort of 4,000 feet. That's sort of talking about there, higher out to the southeast. So definitely a trend. The southeast is probably better than any of the other areas. Right, let's have a look at convergence. It's a very useful feature of this. Let's go right to the beginning and check what there is. I'd imagine that we will get some south coast convergence today, and you can see that starts to set up in the afternoon onwards. Quite reasonable, that convergence line going from about Thorney Island, Portsmouth area, down towards sort of Eastbourne, and maybe even all the way up to Dover. Other than that, there's not too much convergence elsewhere, the odd lines where energy might form. But yeah, it does seem to be that the south coast will work quite nicely today, which is unsurprising given the wind direction. So all in all, nice day. I can see plenty of you out there. But let's have a look at some airspace, because we do have to consider some of that. So first of all, the most important one I think today, restricted area temporary at Boscombe Down. That is a 5 nautical mile restricted area temporary up to 10,500 feet all day. That's because there's some foreign aerobatic team displaying, getting ready for Fairford. So they need to validate, and they're doing that at Boscombe Down. So that's for today and tomorrow. So check the size of that, but it is 5 nautical miles. It's pretty much, if you're near Salisbury Cathedral, you are probably in it. If you're on the west side of Middle Wallop, you're in it. So no flying towards Stonehenge today. That will be completely out of bounds. Little Rislington is active today. I know they have an ATZ on the charts, but it's not active normally during the week, but they've got an Air Cadet gliding camp on. So that's open today between 9 and 5:30 today. 34 is a silly NOTAM to do with RIATs due to a publishing error, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. Looking else around the area, 40 and 37 fly past at Santa Pod's Raceway. That's today. It doesn't even happen. That just shows how silly the NOTAM system is. There is a gliding competition at Edge Hill or Sheddington. They can't decide what to call it. You have a no, that's another one of these amendments, the 37, so don't need to worry about that. Looking else around the charts, that probably looks like the drone is flying in the Solent again. That probably won't be too much fun for you, but yeah, the drone is flying up to 800 feet between Thorney Island and Cowes. So keep that in mind if you are ridge soaring the sea. 21 is not relevant to us. 18, which is just to the east of Ringmer. Okay, again, that's not relevant, so we're good. And the usual danger areas on the southeastern part of the coast are all there. So yes, it's the restricted area temporary at Boscombe Down that I want you guys to be really careful of, so do keep that in mind. Okay, operationally, we are 27 today. There's a jet movement probably around 2:30, 737 inbound from Nice. That's the only jet movement I have notified today. Please grid as many of you as you can on the north side for 27, and we'll get you launched as soon as we can. Okay, bye for now.